Ahoj, krásné studentky a krásní studenti. Imagine you are taking a walk in the autumn forest somewhere in the Czech Republic and you meet someone who comes to you and says basta fiddly, cestou necestou, cik-cak, cimpr-campr, čoromoro, éňo-ňúňo, halabala, hogo-fogo, honem-honem, hybaj-hybaj, šupito presto, štandopére, hory-doly, horem-dolem, hopsa-hejsa, chtě-nechtě, jakýs-takýs, křížem-krážem, klíďo-píďo, lári-fári, lážo-plážo, šumafuk, tydli-fidli, třesky-plesky, volky-nevolky. These words are so-called collocations or idioms, and they are very melodious and repetitive, so easy to memorize, easy to remember, and very, very often used by Czechs. This is why I am sharing them with you. This lesson is generally dedicated to all of you, but most specifically to one of you, Anthony Dupré, my first ever sponsor on YouTube. Thank you so much, Anthony. And also I wanted to show you the autumn colors. It's also terribly windy, so I will have to find a calm spot. First is basta fiddly, or simply basta. In a sentence, doma zůstaneš a basta. It's an interjection and it comes from Latin or Italian bastare, which means suffice, and so it's like enough. But I have heard it even in English, basta. Cestou, necestou. Cesta, the road, necesta, the absence of the road. Even if this is not really what we say, but šli cestou, necestou, přes hory a doly, až došli ke skleněné hoře. It's here, skleněná hora. Well, Grass Mountain. The general meaning is a huge determination. And in translation, in French it's easy, par mon et par vous. But in English, I have had to research it, and it generally means that someone is pursuing one's goal with extreme determination, which I like very much. Zigzag, from German zigzag, it describes a movement which proceeds in a series of sharp turns and angles. When you ski a slalom, you need to ski zigzag. Cimpr-campr. Cimpr-campr. Roztrhat na cimpr-campr. Počkej, až tě chytím. Já tě roztrhám na cimpr-campr. And it comes from German Zimperl or Zimper. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, sorry. I have heard this often in my childhood, I must say. Chari-mari fuk. It's an interjection again, and it's kind of a magician formula, meaning something like abracadabra or simsalabim or something like this. And it's related to witchcraft or New Age knockoff. This I have found in the dictionary I have No idea what it means. Knock off. And when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a boy. And so I used to say on full moon nights, Čáry máry fuk, ať je země kluk. It was ineffective. And then there is one very interesting, choromoro. And choromoro would come, it means disorder or mayhem or confusion. And it would come from two sources. First, the Czech čornout, which means to steal, and more in Old Czech, vilain or rascal or thief, vilain voleur, something like this. And also from the old Romanic choro, which would mean change of property perhaps. Oh, what's happened here? It has changed drastically here. Do you remember in the summer? It's because of this terrible disease, the kurovec, and these woods had to go down. Otherwise the infection would be spreading and spreading and it would never end. A halabala, something done with carelessness, without care, sloppily. Dělá všechno jen tak halabala. And halabala is also very rich. Coming from many languages, as you will see. In French we could say à la va-vite. As for the etymology, so from the Old Czech chalabala or chalibali, from Russian chalachala, which would mean a shallow person, Serbo-Croatian hala, dirt or disorder, Bulgarian chala, a monster which causes winds and storms. I believe he is here, this monster, right now. And apparently also from German and Yiddish, hakol bakol, which would mean put all together in a heap without order. In French, pêle-mêle. In Maharati, it would mean panic, confusion, or a word which I don't know if I pronounce correctly, a stir. And maybe also from Arabic, Allah, Bab, Allah, which would mean to the gates of God. Put yourself in God's hands, but in a careless manner. I really don't know if I get this right. These were my researches, so please, if you know better, correct me in the comments. It will be useful for all of us. Okay. Eño Nuño is another one, and this one I don't hear it often. I believe it's quite dated, but I have heard my parents say it. So, and it simply means something exquisite, but immediately it came to me this beautiful dessert or sweet which is called pednon, and so perhaps people found it very good and said, ça s'appelle comment? Un pednon, une non. Ah, une non, eño nuño. It was good. Well, it's just my silly reflections, but I believe when you learn a foreign language, many things come to you by associations, and this is how you memorize. Another one is hogofogo, meaning of posh or uppity, but posh in the negative manner. Máme nové sousedy, ale jsou nějaký hogofogo. You know that these trees make some noise? This wasn't a bird, it was the wood. Oh, that branch. I believe I will move. Honem honem, hibaj hibaj, šupito presto, or standopede. It's nearly the same meaning, quickness. Honem as an adverb means hastily, quickly, with speed or with haste. But honem from hon is the noun in the nominative case and honem in the instrumental. And hon means a chase, a hunt, or a busy schedule with quickly succeeding stressful tasks. As an adverb, honem has to be quickly, and as an interjection, honem, speed up quickly. Subito presto, it means also an invitation to move, to speed up, and it would come from the Italian subito, sudden or immediate, and presto, quickly. Sometimes I have heard subito presto pronto. And hibaj would be from the Old Slavic hibať, which meant to move. So hibaj hibaj or just hibaj literally means move it. In French we could say ust, and standopede would come from Latin stante pede, so standing on both feet. And I have also researched an English equivalent, and I have found lickety split, clidio pidio or lažo plážo. So I believe there is a gradation. Clidio pidio would mean it would come from clit, calm, peace. And if you ask someone, můžeš to udělat? Klidně. Can you do it? Easily, of course, with peace. And clidio pidio would be another answer. It's very colloquial, but absolutely not rude. Můžeš to pro mě udělat? Clidio pidio. So it's something very easy to perform, or I am not disrupted by this demand. This is the meaning. Lažo plážo would be slightly different. It would mean leisurely, effortlessly, but I don't know, I have the impression it comes from plage, the beach, la plage. So what we do à la plage, we relax. On a lézardé sur la plage. It means really take it easy on the beach, lie in the sun with no wind, and just be. This would mean lážo plážo. Já myslela, že spěcháš a ty zatím lážo plážo se tady procházíš. Something really which is the opposite of subito presto pronto. And lážo plážo would come not only from plage, but the lážo also from the French lâche, relaxed, not having any tension. And I really didn't find a translation which I would feel right for lážo plážo. I have found no problemo, or no sweat, or easy peasy. But lážo plážo isn't easy peasy, it's taking it easy, something slightly different. And in French I have found peinard, au calme. On était bien peinard, on se reposait au calme, tranquillou, sans souci, la vie est belle. Hakuna matata, ah yes, this is one we could use, hakuna matata. Okay, jakýs takýs. it would come from jaký, which one, takový, that one, and I would translate it of some description of a kind or something like this. Also there was tolerable, approximate, so-so, zo-zo, zo-zo. Snažím se zavést jakýs taký pořádek v mém ruksaku. Jakýs taký pořádek. With no success. Hory doly. Hora, a mountain, and důl would mean a mine or a valley, a dale. Slibovala hory doly. Slibuje hory doly. She or he is promising the moon and the stars. So vain promises. Whilst horem dolem, it would mean something different from above and from below, from all sides. Mluvím do něj horem dolem. Říkám ti to horem dolem. And close to this in sound but different in meaning would be horem pádem. Headlessly. The synonyms would be střemhlav. Řítil se horem pádem z kopce dolů. So to speed up with extreme haste. Hory doly, horem dolem and horem pádem. And then there is larifari or třesky plesky. It's the same meaning, and something comes to my mind right now. It's the famous fiddle-dee-dee from Gone with the Wind, Scarlet. So meaningless words, not carrying any real substance, mere sounds. And precisely larifari would come from the Italian psalmizations, la, re, fa, re. So just a music with not semantic meaning. Larifare, larifari. The sun is going down. Musím zrychlit, šupito presto, before it's night. Hopsa heisa would come from folkloric songs, and it would express a joyful, happy and quite quick horse steps or movement. And there is a song, Hopsa heisa, pojedeme do Brandejsa, which would be the equivalent of the French opa, opa, otro, otro, ogalo, ogalo, ogalo. Apparently it exists also in the Mozart's opera, La Flûte Enchantée, or the Magic Flute. In German, Zauberflöte. I don't know if Zauberflöte. Kouzelná flétna. And there is this character, Vogelfänger, and he sings Der Vogelfänger bin ich, ja. Stets lustig, hopsa heisasa. Joyful movements. Thank you, Google. Křížem krážem. Křížem krážem. Kříž, it's the cross, and kráž, it doesn't mean anything immediately, but it expresses a movement which goes in all direction and all around. Prochodil les křížem krážem. If you remember me losing my glasses on the meadow up there, so after, when I was searching for them, I was going křížem krážem. Chodila jsem loukou křížem krážem a hledala ztracené brýle. A nebylo mi přitom hopsa hejsa. Šumafuk. Šumafuk, it's an expression of utter indifference. Je mi to šumafuk. It's an old expression, my parents were using it. And Apparently it would come from the French je m'en fous, but in Czech it isn't a harsh word. Je m'en fous, it's an old, quaint, oldish, very oldish word which you wouldn't hear from a modern young person. Tiddly fiddly. Tiddly fiddly expresses a very unmelodious kind of strokes with your bow over strings in a string instrument. Most frequently it's on violin, but of course you can imagine a viola or cello, any of these. And the last one is volky nevolky, which would come from vůle, the will. In French the perfect translation would be bon gré mal gré. It means whether you want it or not, you were forced or made to do it. Volky nevolky, budu muset jít domů. In Latin I have found nolens volens. Sometimes we say this in law, nolens volens. In Polish, chca nechca, хочeš nie хочeš. Excuse my accent. In Slovak, voľky nevoľky. Quiera or no quiera. Krásné studentky a krásní studenti, I would like to show you around a little bit more, and fingers crossed we will see the deer roll. "22 minutes already, and I didn't even mention bez ladu a skladu, bok po boku, bylo nebylo, hlava nehlava, same as horem pádem, hrc frc, same as halabala, jakž takž, konec konců." Even the tripod is shaking. Mírnix týrnix, pif paf, skrz naskrz, raz dva, techtle mechtle. So cold, and I didn't think of taking a hat or gloves. If only for this day, the whole trip was worth it. But I believe that now I will get back to the wagon and make fire. Maybe a glass of wine or two. Or three. Brzy nashledanou. And as for the deer, someone asked me for a footage of deer, roe deer, or European mouflon grazing in a meadow. This is why I am here. So wish me luck.